What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Yes, I do plan on addressing the Marc Lamont Hill situation after I take my vitamin. And some people are saying, what did we do? What did we do to deserve a Sunday show? You didn't do anything. I didn't stream on Saturday because I was gonna stream on Saturday to make up for the fact that I didn't stream on Wednesday. And I got so busy on business on Saturday that I decided to make up for it today. And so here we are. What up, friends? Nothing major, just light, kicking it about some things that's happening in culture, social media, news, all of that. Because we don't miss, when we miss, we then have to make it up. What's up, friends? How y'all feel? I know this is unexpected. I know that I didn't announce it, so special little treat. Special little treat. What's up, y'all? Chicago is not a real place. What up, says Relentless Django. Caught my first show. Oh, you had to be here on a Sunday to catch a show. I'm at church. Did you pray before you started the show? I didn't. I'm not. Yeah, Lord, word my mouth, guide my footsteps in Jesus' name, amen. Was wondering what Anton was on the Sabbath, but God says to rest on the Sabbath. Most appreciative for you on a Sunday show. Church, preach, tabernacle. Yo, I literally so let me say this. I just came from the show. I went to a 10:30 a.m. show to prepare myself for the live stream that me and Slimmy gonna do the movie reviews on Room 9. So yes, and this is what I learned at the 10:30 show. The 10:30 show, the early morning shows, be booming on the weekends. Every single slot at the movie theater was filled. Nobody, like, it was booming. I didn't know that. The movie theater was full, more full in the morning than it was in the evening. I couldn't believe it, bro. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the movie theaters was going to be booming at 10:30 a.m. Yes, I got up at 10:30. Actually, I woke up at, what time did I wake up? 6:37 this morning. And then I went to the 10:30 show, and it was booming, bro. All of the kids was out. All of the parents was out. the reasonable adults was out in the streets, I couldn't believe it. I said, all right, that's what we doing? That's what we do it. So, yep, I went to the show. I was going to go last night. I said, I had a bad feeling. Heather Woods, I had a bad feeling, so I didn't go to the show last night. And I was going to go to the 11 o'clock at night show, and I just started getting this eerie feeling, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to even do it. I went and seen Keepers. The Keepers, I think it's called The Keepers or whatever like that. So it's like a horror film. I'm really into all different types of films. And then earlier in the week, I seen Wicked. So we're going to talk about Keepers. We're going to talk about Wicked. And we're going to talk about Eddington. All right. Yeah, your car. Facts. So I was chilling. I didn't want to be at the show till 12 something, 1 o'clock in the morning. I went early this morning and I made the best decision. So always follow your instincts. Yes, Keisha, always follow your gut. So we're going to talk about that. I got to watch Eddington, but that's on HBO Max, so I ain't got to worry about that. Yes, best I stay in the house. How'd you feel about Weapons? What is Weapons? Wicked is a series to me. Always. What up, Classy Beats? That's real. Y'all want to get into the show? Y'all want to get into the show? Y'all want to get to it? I would like to get to it. I think we got some things that we need to cover. No? I don't think I've seen the movie Weapons. Oh, yes. Let's get into the show. All right. So let's address a little bit of controversy before we go over. Okay, so this is how the show gonna go. I'm gonna address this whole Brian McKnight, Joe Budden, Marc Lamont Hill thing. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on that, and then we're gonna go over to Chicago. Then we're gonna go to Minneapolis, and then we're gonna talk about the money. All right, we're gonna go this whole Brian McKnight controversy. Then we're gonna go over to Chicago. Then we're gonna go to Minneapolis, and then we're gonna talk about the money. All right. Light Sunday show. I don't think we ever did a Sunday show before. I didn't even announce this. What up to Classy Beats? I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. I also want to give a shout out to a couple people on Cash App too. I want to shout out Mike, that dude. Says, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing incredible, bro. I want to shout out Christopher Williams. Thank you, Christopher Williams. I want to give some love to John Benton. Black Conservative Icons and Competition T-shirt, Art Competition T-shirt. Also want to give a shout out to, that's it. Shout out to everybody. Well Building Journey says, what up, Fly Girl Candy? Well Building Journey says, I had to do a double take. Ton has a Sunday show. Salute Ton Dog and the Chasers and the rest of the Millionaire Morning Show family. All right, well, let's get into it, y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. Again, I'm going to continue to read Super Chats and Cash Apps. You are not required to send anything. I am just happy to be here, happy to be before you. I'm incredibly blessed. And so that's what it is. All right. Y'all ready to get into it? So Joe Budden, Joe Beasy, they had a pod, and I checked it out over the weekend. I paid for the Patreon. So that I could see it early and that I could understand the full context. Because I was talking to Brian as usual, because I'm always talking to Brian. I was talking to Brian, and Brian has sent me a treasure trove, right? So I'm gonna play a little bit of the audio. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this audio.
Fresh out the break. Had some smoke. We had a little bit of smoke.
Can y'all hear that? I want to make sure that the audio is clear and that y'all can hear that. Okay, cool. Let's play it. I'm gonna play the audio. You can't play the video. You know, the Joe Budden podcast don't want you to play the video. So I'm gonna play the audio.
Somebody was looking for our good educated brother. He said he gonna find him too. Yeah. Hey, if you missed it, Brian
was this kid singing this to him? Yo.
Do I ever cross your
All right, you
mind?
still at it.
All right.
You
Don't
still
start
at it.
those shit down.
I said he looking for you.
He's the worst deadbeat out.
Our good brother Brian McKnight went on Anton Daniels' podcast and shared some things. I have a clip here. He shared that he reached out to the Joe Budden podcast so he can attempt to be a guest.
Who caught that message?
I want to let Mr. McKnight know I have never received that message. You must have sent that to like the pod page.
So, all right. So let's stop there. All right. So I got a treasure trove, a huge treasure trove of information and stuff and things. Brian is not sure if this is the right page, whatever. I don't know what the pod page is. I don't know what the pod page is. What is the pod page? So does Joe Budden have this is what Brian has sent. Is this Joe Budden's pod page? Is this the page that they don't pay attention to? Brian sent this message to Joe, and it says, Joe, I really respect you on what you've built here. I just wonder, though, as brothers, why would you talk about me and speculate about my life when you can just reach out and have me on so we could debate? Now, remember, this was October 28th at 6:19 a.m. Could debate what is actually going on and then have a debate about what many men out here deal with every day, a dialogue that might actually help. Brian respectfully, even though they've had all of this negativity, all of this stuff to say, right? Because they had all of this negativity and all of this stuff to say, Brian respectfully reached out to their pod. And again, this is why it's important for y'all to have an ally. And an ally in objective truth. Not your truth, not his truth, not their truth. All I'm going to do is just put out the information. And again, I got a treasure trove of information. I got so much different stuff, so many different things. And see, because the media, and when I say the media, I'm not talking about CNN, I'm not talking about Fox News, I'm not talking about BET, MSNBC, none of that stuff. When I look at the media now, I look at subscriber supremacy, right? Now, I don't feel the need to address this on the Anton Daniels channel. We're going to pull out the little channel, and I'm going to tell you why we pulled out the little channel with only 400 and some thousand subscribers. I'm not going to go to the million plus channel. We're going to get into that later. All right. But this is why it's important for people to have an objective ally. And an objective ally is a person that do not care about what the audience thinks. And you know how y'all know that I'm objective? I'm going to tell y'all how y'all know that I'm objective. The way that y'all know that I'm objective is because I go back and forth with you guys. I fight with y'all in the chat. And what do I say? Don't censor nobody just because they got a difference of opinion, just because they may come at me. We don't block people just because. We fight here. We fight in real life because that's what people do. They argue their point. They argue their differences. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to censor people. I don't believe in censorship. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I don't believe in censorship, and I don't pander. I don't pander. So when Brian told me, because I wanted to know, and see, I didn't feel the need to have to show this on a interview. He said what he said. When Brian told me, he said, man, I reached out to them, and they act like
They didn't want to get the other side of the story. I know that they was pandering to women. I know that they pandering to their audience, which that's what you got to do when you're trying to get to the bag. And so that's fair, right? So when you hear them say stuff like this, well, I'm just going to give you the insight on why you should look at it a little bit differently when y'all hearing them talk, okay? Let me continue to play some more.
So he can attempt to be a guest.
Who caught that message?
I want to let Mr. McKnight know I have never received that message. You must have sent that to like the pod page,
You maybe
or something. Because if you would have sent that to me, we would have handled that in a heartbeat. You know, I got you singing at my wedding. Maybe you don't know.
Not more. Not more.
Why not?
That's usually a tactic, right? When people want to get off of the responsibility of being a reasonable source or a credible person that has conversations about issues that go on in the culture, they'll start to joke. Yeah, man, you know, I had you singing at my wedding. You know, they do the joke thing, right? Ha ha ha, jokey joke. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they go in and they do all of the jokey joke. I didn't really know, whatever, so on and so forth. What's the point of having the page if you don't check it and find out what the hell is going on, right? So the thing about Brian, though, and I kick it with him, and it's so funny because I kick it with a lot of people that realize how I handled the Brian McKnight interview, and it's a lot of celebrities that's been reaching out to me like, what up? I'm ready to tell my story. So y'all, and this is why I'm having this conversation on a smaller platform, because I don't, I can get personal. I could just talk my talk. I could talk shit on here. So y'all can look forward to the truth coming out from a lot of people that have been disrespected, lied on, told that I'm gonna be the truth teller, and I don't want nobody trying to follow in my footsteps. Keep doing what y'all doing, keep doing your little gossips. And I'ma just had a real conversations with people that really want the truth to get out. All right. That really want the truth. So we gonna get there. We gonna get there. All right. Anyways, but I was talking to Brian, and he was like, "What do you think about this? This is hilarious to me." And I said, "What do we care?" And so we laughed about it, and we continued the conversation. So we had maybe a 4 second dialogue about it, and we moved on. Brian don't give a fuck no more. You know why? Because Brian already told his side of the story now. It's out there. It's out there collectively in less than 3 days. In less than 3 days between the main interview, the clips, and then all of the stuff that's happening on social media, he's already gotten millions of views. And regardless of whether people agree or disagree, he got his shit off. He got it off his chest. He told what it is, and he letting it rock. He said what he had to say. He don't care no more. Brian was already good, and now he chilling. But let's continue on.
Wait till we done.
Oh
shit.
Oh, God.
Burn that bridge.
Anyway, I have this.
Better get it back up.
I have this clip here. Like to hear it. Hear it go.
Because here's the thing. Why can't we sit and talk about it?
Yeah, I agree.
I sent a message to Joe Budden's podcast. Crickets. Nothing. Mm-hmm. But who's that Mark, the guy, the political
Marc
guy?
Lamont Hill.
Let me tell you something.
What's the guy's name again?
I'd destroy that dude. I would destroy him. Not physically, but because you don't even know me. But you call me an asshole?
Yeah.
Well, I look at Marc Lamont Hill.
Get him, Anton.
There's a segment of people that are what I like to call they like to champion themselves as intellectuals, right? And that they truly believe that they're smarter than everybody else.
Tell them.
But I don't really believe that because I never see the results.
Right.
It never translates.
Oh,
so
I see people handing him his ass.
It's easy.
Whoa. Let me rewind that.
Let
me rewind that.
Guy in the room, but it doesn't necessarily.
Hold up. You heard what Brian says.
It never translates, right? So
I see people handing him his ass all the time.
Yeah, it's easy to. It's easy to say that I'm the smartest guy in the room, but it doesn't necessarily translate into results, right? So I decided that I would do stuff on my own.
We don't need the rest.
No.
Nah.
We don't need the rest.
We kind of got it.
I went and watched the whole episode to make sure it wasn't anymore. It was
So
just
did I.
this.
I know you did. I
Oh,
know
you know
you
I did.
did too.
You
It's
know
part
I
of the
did.
job.
Yo,
Oh,
where does it translate? How do you measure
Whoa.
that?
And they were talking about
understand?
two different things. That's the funny part. They were just
Like, how do you measure that? Mark could be resonating with a whole bunch of different people and improving people's lives every single day. You can't measure that.
Ish. Fight your fights.
Shout out to Joe. Joe had it right. Joe had it right. Ish, fight your own fights. I'm gonna come back to Ish in a minute. I'll get there in a minute. I'm gonna fast forward because Mark having whatever he had to say about Brian McKnight, that's irrelevant in this conversation. So we're gonna come back to that in a minute.
Know that, I've said some shit, but
he's saying that I think I'm smarter than everybody.
Oh, this is the other part that I wanted to get to. All right.
Yo, got no spoke for the interview?
Antoine Donaldson, Antoine Jameson, whatever his name is. No, I don't know him.
Anton.
He's saying that I think I'm smarter than everybody. I'm smarter than him.
Mhm.
Like I don't think I'm smarter than everybody. I'm smarter than him. But I literally don't know. I don't have a beef. I don't know who he is. I don't even know his name. Literally.
What? That's crazy. But what's his name? Who is he? What is his name? That's crazy, bro. It's insane. On October 15th, 2024. First of all, who is Jess Mabley? Who is Jess Mabley? Does anybody know who Jess Mabley is? Anyways, I'm going to let y'all read it. Good morning. They sent it twice because I didn't respond to it the first time, so they sent it twice. I'm not going to show you the number. That's not necessary. Good morning, Mr. Daniels. My name is Jess. I'm a producer for Marc Lamont Hill. Mark would like to invite you to join him for an interview on his YouTube program, Night School. Now remember, this was October 15th, 2024. I'm hotter than fish grease. I'm on every fucking platform. I'm doing 100 million views on YouTube alone every 28 days. And Marc Lamont and his team reaches out to me. I didn't respond the first time. They doubled down. All right. Listen, this is a conversation that I want to have with y'all. We're not even going to talk about the intellect part. I'll get to that shortly also. But these niggas is capping, bro. All of these niggas is fake. All of them are fake. I don't know who he is. Who is he? I'm confused. What are you confused about, nigga? I never reached out to you. You reached out to me. I never reached out to them, which is cool. You should reach out to me. When I jump on somebody's platform or when I do an interview or when I do something, that shit hit. It go viral. Never mind. Let me read it to you guys. There's no need. You see what it is. Good morning. They doubled down. I'm a producer for Marc Lamont Hill. Mark would like to invite you to join him for an interview on his YouTube program. How they got my number, I have no clue. Because I don't just give out my phone number. This wasn't an email. This was a text message. This wasn't an email. This is a text message, okay? Would like to join you. So they got my number from somewhere. So that means they had to go and find that shit. That means they had to go and look it up, right? They had to go and contact somebody. They had to go make some moves to find out how we can get in touch with Anton Daniels, okay? He would like you to interview on his YouTube program, Night School, on Friday night at 9 p.m. Any chance that you are available? And they sent it again. I said, I can. And remember, I was talking to y'all about it. I said, should I even entertain this nonsense or not? And y'all said, nah, don't waste your time, Anton. I let the chat decide. I let y'all decide. Y'all said, nah, it doesn't even waste. There's no point in it. It doesn't add any value to what you got going on. So on and so forth. I said, cool, no problem. So I responded. So I said, I can't. I have huge obligations. Friday night, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it, but I appreciate the offer. I was a gentleman. They say, okay, thank you for letting me know. Perhaps next week would work. Or another time this week. Then they sent another text message. Or another time this week. Would just love to get a little time with you on the books. Please let me know if there's any time that may work for you. And I never even responded after that, bro. I never even responded after that. That's the facts. I never responded. And you can see the actual dates. So it's so funny to me. It's so hilarious to me how people will sit there and tell you that they don't know. But this is the people that y'all call smart. This is the people that y'all call intellectual. Honestly, listen, I'm not saying anything that's not true. I haven't even said anything incendiary. I haven't said anything crazy. I haven't said any of that. These people are liars, bro. They are liars. They are genuinely liars. That's why I don't fuck with these people in the industry, bro. Because if he'd have said, yo, I'm smarter than him or whatever, because see, how would you know if you're smarter than me if you've never heard of me before? How would you know that you're smarter than me if you've never heard of me before? I'm just curious. So you've been reaching out and your people been reaching out. And they've been hitting me, and they've been hitting me, and they've been hitting me, and they've been hitting me. And they've been trying to holler at me and trying to get at me and trying to get, and it's cool. Like I said, I'm not tripping. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Why wouldn't you want to hit me? I'm doing on the Anton Daniels channel alone on a low month, 70, 60, 70, 75, 80 million views a month. That ain't include no other platform. Why wouldn't you want to holler at me? I would want to holler at me too. That makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense. Anton, you're not really doing 70 million views in a month. I'm not doing what? What do you mean I'm not doing 70? Why wouldn't I be doing 70? I'm sorry, 75 in the last 28 days. That's a fact. You're right. I'm not. 2.7 million watch hours. Bro, why is these niggas acting like they not the B-side? Honestly, I've been, as much as y'all may think that I'm not humble, I'm really, really humble. Honest to God, bro. Who do these niggas think they talking to? I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be doing you a favor to have a conversation with you. I would be doing you and that's what. Remember when I told y'all in the beginning of this conversation that I'm gonna use a smaller platform with a 400,000 subscribers on it to have this conversation? I would be doing you a favor to have a conversation with you. Everywhere I go, the building is fucking filled. Every venue that I step into, they call me Mr. Daniels. And that's not to take anything away from you. I love the fact that you work for, or that you work for Al Jazeera. I love the fact that you were a contributor on CNN and Fox News. I like the fact that you're educated and that you went and got a degree from these major universities. I love the fact that Joe Budden decided to pick you to be a part of the crew of his platform. I love that for you. I love the fact that you've taught at major universities as a professor and made sure that you got your pay, because I'm not a person that hate on people that got a regular job. I love that. I love that you're trying to figure out how to get your money together so that you can pay off your mortgage or whatever the fuck y'all was talking about on that one episode. I'm with it. I'm with it. But I put people in houses. I find talent and I pay people. Everybody that's around me, they all make 6 figures or more. Like we not the same at the end of the day. And when I say it don't translate, I make millionaires in real life. I have people that have changed the entire trajectory of their families in real life. So remember that. Just remember that. Like, bro, if your people fuck with you so hard, then how come you ain't got no motion on your own? That's all I'm saying. I could teach you something. Let me coach you, nigga. Because, you know, I kind of look at him as autistic. The nigga blink a lot when he talk. Honestly, and this is the honest to God truth, I'm not dissing. I'm not dissing. You know how these super pseudo intellectual people, they have quirks about them and they do stuff. They got tics and stuff like that. I thought that the nigga was autistic at first. But see, the problem with niggas that be autistic, and there's nothing wrong with somebody on a spectrum. Because see, y'all look at these niggas as savants. Y'all look at them as super intellectual. These niggas fear you. They fear me. I'm the boogeyman. I'm the boogeyman. You know what make me the boogeyman? Because I don't need no sponsors. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. I own 100% of everything and I don't have no strings on me. So I say what the fuck I want to say when I want to say it. I was rich before this shit. I was rich before this. I was up M's before this, before all of this. Y'all know my record. Y'all seen my receipts. You seen my 1040s. You see what's in my bank account. You see what's in my brokerage account. That's not even a question. I'm not controlled, bro. And do your thing. I mean, honestly, seriously. And we can have a conversation and all of that stuff maybe one day, but you got to ask your boss if you can talk to me first, bro. I don't know if that's in your contract. Seriously, like, talk to Joe, my nigga. Talk to Joe before you talk. Talk to Al Jazeera. Make sure that you don't say anything incendiary, because you know what happened on CNN. When you start talking too much about Israel, they fired your ass, nigga. I need to make sure you check with your people before you come and talk to me, man. Because see, I don't have no strings on me. You got to talk to them. That's how you lost your last situation. Now we can get into the whole intellectual conversation, and I think that I think you're gonna get embarrassed in that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Honestly, I think that would be a bad look for you, and I'm advising you before you talk to your managers. And the reason that I think that that's gonna be a bad look for you is because I don't have nothing to lose. I'm a lifetime C student. Everybody know I'm a lifetime C student. I'm community college. You finished your doctorate. All these niggas like Marc Lamont Hill sound smart to niggas that got student loans. Honest to God, these niggas is smart to niggas that got African American studies degrees. These niggas is smart to people that's broke. They're smart to people that's broke. They not smart to us. Because see, we only measure a person based off of the results. We don't measure you based off of your credentials of whether or not you graduated from school or if you went to an HBCU. We don't give a fuck about that. We trying to figure out how to put some money in our people's pocket, how to ensure that people can change their families. We're trying to get people in the trades. We trying to make sure that people, and listen, I acknowledge the fact that you've started programs earlier in your career to help people read. I think that that's awesome. But niggas that ain't got no money think you smart, bro. People that are asking for reparations think you smart. People that got $100,000 plus in student loans think you smart. We don't look at you as nothing at all. I don't give a fuck about your pseudo nicknames. I don't care about none of that shit. I got smoke objectively for everybody because I don't give a fuck about what nobody think. And more importantly, here's the key. You got to show me, nigga. You got to show me. Talk to your boss. Talk to Joe. Talk to Al Jazeera. Talk to whoever it is that you got to go talk to. Go talk to your people, your family. Get permission to go kick it with them niggas and then come back, bro. And stop acting like you don't know, nigga. You know you've been paying attention to me for a long time. Everybody on that motherfucking pod know. Ish, stay out of this shit. This ain't for you, bro. I'm gonna just let you know right now. I don't know if y'all familiar with my work, bro, but you better get acquainted. You better get acquainted. I will nuke everybody. I shouldn't even be talking to these niggas. I need to be talking to their boss. They're in negotiations to try to get contracts up, trying to count money. What are we talking about? I need to see your boss. I don't need to talk to you. These niggas the help. You a contributor. You operate off of a schedule that he sets for you. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I'm rich as fuck. And I know y'all want to remove money out of the equation because y'all don't think that that's going to qualify. This is what Ish is saying. Well, how can you measure what they contribute to other people? The fuck out of here, man. We measure it in net worth. We don't do that other dumb shit. So we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I'm just gonna tell you, that's not a good thing. It's not gonna be a good thing. It's not gonna be a good thing. You got everything to lose. I got everything to gain. Everything to lose and everything to gain. So it's on you, my nigga. Do what you do. But you better think about it first, because the last time that you replied out of emotion, this is why I tell people to lower your voice, strengthen your argument. You replied out of emotion. And that's why I had to pull up the receipts to even start having this conversation, because it's like, well, let's not get off on the wrong foot. Let's establish a norm. You know, I don't like it when niggas lie, because then you lose credibility. And so there's no scholarly source that you can cite for credibility. I'm telling you, look, man, I genuinely, being from the inner city of Detroit, bro, nigga, I got everything to gain. I have no strings attached to me. So what y'all should have did, and then I'm gonna move on to the next thing. What these niggas should have did, honestly, was first issue an apology to Brian. Y'all should issue an apology to Brian for slandering his name. And y'all niggas should know better. Half of you niggas up there is divorcees, baby daddies, all of that shit. And I'm a huge supporter, and I rap for niggas. I'm one of the biggest advocates for changing family court laws so that we can actually fix our families. Y'all niggas is divorcees. Y'all step baby daddies. Y'all niggas is cucks and shit like that. The fuck we talking about, bro? Y'all niggas should understand more than anybody, but you so busy trying to change your image and pander to your female audience. Man, these women don't give a fuck about you, bro. Y'all niggas up there is the main culprits. And then you got that funky, what's that redhead chick up there? What's her name? Mona? Hold on, let me see her. She co-signing this shit? Her? Her? Man, y'all better stop, bro. Y'all better stop. Like, I know y'all used to dealing with all of these other people, but I will burn this bitch down. I will burn this bitch down to the ground. Like, enjoy the interview, my nigga, and keep it moving. This raggedy chick right here, this crash out. Man, don't even get me started on this, bro. Hey, y'all niggas stay out of it. Let Mark talk to his boss. And then we may entertain this shit. But other than that, leave this shit alone, bro. Y'all niggas is out of control. Man, these niggas be thinking that just because they got a mic. Well, I got a mic too, niggas, right here. I don't even use it. I don't use this shit. Fuck is we talking about? Let me stop, bro. Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? I just wanted to level set real quick. Because, see, Brian, he sings. He got melodies. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. The fuck is we talking about? Marc Lamont Hill. These niggas don't even contribute as much to their own platforms as they contribute to the Joe Budden pod. What the fuck is we talking about? All right, I'm gonna leave it there. So hopefully we can have an amicable walk away from this conversation and we can just keep it moving. But I don't give a fuck about what these niggas talking about, man. I'm not impressed by these people. And I said that when I was going back and forth with Kenyon Martin and all of this other shit. I don't give a fuck about these niggas, man. These niggas is crash dummies to me. I respect Joe's entrepreneurial spirit, his catalog. I think he's one of the dopest people in the world. But come on, man, stop. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and talk about some other shit. Let me read some of these super chats. Patreon meetup in Florida in 2026. Facts. AR is back. 87 says, damn, Joe really got the credibility of the brick lady. Yo, it's Eric TV says, hi, AD. So he lying now? Yes, he is. Project says, what up, though? I appreciate you. Jordan Joseph 8256 says, surprised you didn't come down to Vegas for F1. I was trying to get this shit off, bro. I was focused. I was working. I was taking care of business. Anthony says, what up with the super sticker? I appreciate you, Anthony. Cynthia Hayes says, 80, them folks add no value to you. Low key, you are definitely doing great things for your community. If that's the case, reach out to Eminem. I already got some other stuff that I'm lined up with. B Hunter the Spot says, what up? I appreciate you, B Hunter. Jay the Transporter says, big dog, I really wholeheartedly need a slight coaching call from you just to point me in the right direction. Send me one right now. Send me an email right now, bro. But I need a few words from you. Need an email. And somebody put the email in the chat. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. Who was the person they contracted to get your number? I don't know how they got my number. I don't know how people get my number. My number is just out there. TS Car Wash and Detail Services 80. Salute to you. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chasers. Make sure y'all, I watched the Devin Haney versus Norman Jr. fight last night. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We got 19,000 Patreon members. Shout out to the chasers. Let me tell y'all exactly what the number is. Oh, snaps. We crossed 20K. Shout out to the 20,000 bag chasers. I didn't even realize that we crossed 20,000 Patreon members. Yo, what up to the chasers? Y'all surprised me this Sunday. 20,009 bag chasers. 1,000 new members. Shit. Yo, Yo, we crossed 20,000 chasers. What up to the chasers? What up to the chasers? I can't believe it. Y'all surprised me this morning. Y'all surprised me this morning. Not only am I going to take your super chat, Young Money, I'm not even going to highlight what you're saying. Shout out to the chasers. Damn, you gave me your super chat money for no reason, my nigga. That's messed up. I can't believe the chasers is out here running it up. Damn, my nigga, you paid to get my attention for no reason. Fucked up. Oh, man. Shout out to the chasers, bro. Can't believe it. When did Mark say he'll do that? He'll accept the invite. Of course he'll accept the invite. He already invited me. I showed that receipt earlier. Here, let me show it to you again. Niggas be trying to act like they don't. Oh, man, I ain't never heard of him. What's his name again? What's his name again? What's my name again? I had to go. Thank God that they had a search functionality on here because I had to go back and search like, man, I know they have been reaching out to me a long time ago. I know they have been reaching out to me to try to get his platform popping. And I could do that for you, bro. I can get you popping, my nigga. I can get you popping. They already reached out. That was October 2024. When we get to 1 million bag chasers, we got work to do. We're not even going to talk about it right now. Shout out to the chasers, bro. Shout out to y'all. I think y'all are the greatest people of all time. Let's double check something. I don't know it. Kind of like this Sunday stuff. Shout out to the chasers. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the chasers. Shout out to the 20,000 chasers. All right, y'all. We own it. We own it. We own it. We own it. Like he didn't know who I was, Miss KB. I know I'm smarter than him. I don't know who he is, but I know I'm smarter than him. Okay, cool. Then that should be able to translate, right? Everybody talks. Very few people understand. Niggas capping for his friends. Capping for the gram, nigga. That's what hoes do. Hoes cap for the gram. All right, y'all ready to continue on with the show? When he say that, where is it at? Where is that? He got to talk to his boss first, though. He got to talk to his boss first. We don't want him to end up like Melissa Ford in the Honda Accord. We don't want him to end up like Melissa Ford. Let's find this. Let's get into this. Enough of that. We off that, y'all. moving on to other things and other information and all of that other type of stuff and having a conversation. Let's get into this, y'all. Chicago.
Breaking news at this hour, a shooting on State Street right outside our studios.
If you're familiar with this street, it's Walgreens, it's Chicago Theater on the east side. We are on the west side. Ravi Beshwal in the newsroom. He's got more information. What can you tell us?
What up, Messi?
We've got some more video coming in right now. This was shot by our crews out on the street and some of us here with our own phones going to our windows on the west side of the street, as you can see. Take a look now. This is actually moments after this happened. You see, look at that. The people responding to the sound of gunshots right there. People scrambling, running, ducking, going down into the subway. That is the east side of State Street, as you can see. And moments later, police officers, dozens of them, coming down south on State Street in front of the Chicago Theater, running towards the sound of those gunshots. This is right, that Walgreens right there. That's where we saw at least one person had been shot. They were on the ground on the sidewalk. Again, that's the moment right there. We've got this on a little bit of a loop. And another person who was shot that we had seen was on the ground in the northbound lanes of State Street, just in front of that Walgreens. So we have obviously very much a breaking situation. This happening about a half an hour ago, 10 minutes to the top of the hour, just before our newscast, and we were preparing to go on air, obviously, with all the pomp and circumstance of the holiday lights festival, all of it starting up, the lighting of the tree downtown at Millennium Park. And so, as you can imagine, downtown is extremely crowded tonight, with people coming down to celebrate, and then the sound of these gunshots going off. Unmistakable. I was actually up here in the third floor newsroom, and Rob, you and I actually were talking just before you were going down to the studio, and we both heard it, and it was unmistakable. So you see the reaction there pretty much in real time. And again, the Chicago police saying officially all they're saying right now is that 2 people have been shot, and we await more details from them. Also, as far as the people being on the streets now, on State Street, that area has been cleared. A lot of them.
It's so messed up because you can pretty much expect for certain things to happen in certain cities when there's large gatherings, according to Brandon Johnson. This is not abnormal. This is normal in the community. This is normal in Chicago. They probably expected for this to happen anyway. And so I don't know why everybody is acting surprised.
Here in the loop by the Chicago Theater, you may have noticed just a few minutes ago behind Noel in his live shot, we could see multiple emergency vehicles going by. This was moments before our newscast that we were hearing about it, just blocks away from our studio.
Our Charlie Lamar is there live for us now. Charlie, what can you tell us? Joe, an absolute disaster in the loop right now. There is a heavy police presence here. There has been reports of a shooting right here in the loop. We, of course, are at State and Randolph right now. We have seen first responders working on several people in the street who are presumably gunshot victims. Of course, this was an extremely busy night here in the loop. Not only did you have the Christmas tree lighting in Millennium Park, you also had the Chris Kindle Market that was just letting out. We are hearing that the shooting happened at about 9:50. So just about 10 minutes ago, 10-15 minutes ago, reports are that Chicago police were monitoring a group of young people in the loop. They had their eyes on them, and at some point, this shooting happened. There were thousands of people here in the loop tonight. You can still hear sirens and first responders coming. We have seen at least 2 victims being attended to right here in front of the Walgreens. We are steps from the Chicago Theater. It is a chaotic scene here right now. Multiple people shot. Again, a very busy night here in the loop. The Chris Kindle Market was going on along with the tree lighting. So thousands of people.
I'm going to switch over really quickly, and I want to share with you guys Brandon Johnson's response to the whole situation and what he had to say. Again, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.
There was another shooting at 140 South Dearborn, where there were 2 additional victims. One of those victims, a 14-year-old, sustained multiple gunshot wounds and died. There were 5 guns that were recovered. No parent certainly wants to get that terrible, life-altering call. It is senseless violence like these shootings that makes us all feel unsafe. And it has left too many families in Chicago reeling. Incidents like last night set us back as a city, and it evokes fear. Our young people have to understand that they should not attend these unauthorized events that have been advertised on social media.
It's funny, the police and all of these agencies supposedly that are underfunded in Chicago are aware of all of this stuff happening before it happens. Because if you don't think that the police officers are following certain people and looking at certain trends and seeing what's happening on social media, they already know what's going to happen before it happens. They know what people are looking to do. And you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to cancel what happens downtown. They're not going to ask President Trump for additional assistance in making sure that they keep Chicago safe. They're not going to work with the FBI to remove more guns off the street. We haven't even heard anything from DC. Have y'all noticed that? We haven't heard nothing from Memphis. We haven't heard anything from DC. We haven't heard anything since the National Guard and the Trump administration has worked on keeping those cities safe. We haven't heard anything. Nothing over in DC. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. And you have a teacher, and this is why we say that we measure things based off of results. We don't care about your resume, nigga. We don't care about, what you advocated for. We don't care about none of that. The only thing we care about is the ability to get results. And now they sit here in a press conference because at least one person died in multiple shootings in Chicago. And you know what the worst part about it is? They're down so many police officers, but then they can't actually fix the budget. So because they're trying to tax people because they have a $1.6 billion budget deficit in Chicago, and the school systems is down with a $734 million projected budget deficit, and you have a shortage of police officers in which they're asking them to shave $90+ million from their budget. When you have a large gathering, something like downtown or the tree lighting, you can't even provide adequate protection in the neighborhoods because they're so short on public safety. They're short on public safety.
They are extremely dangerous due to the number of individuals that may be carrying weapons, especially semi-automatic weapons. And as much progress as we have made, there are still far too many guns on our streets. And for these young people who have engaged in these incidents, you have put yourselves and your friends at risk. Because of the reckless behavior of a few individuals, we have families devastated, and our downtown residents are hesitant to leave their own homes. I'm the first person to recognize that we have more work to do in this city to provide safe spaces for our young people. But these types of violent gatherings can never.
Why is everything a gathering, bro? Why is everything a gathering? Why is everything a gathering? La La Land, please stop emailing me. You email me. I'm gonna address that in a minute.
Be an alternative, nor can they be normalized. We need parents, guardians, and other responsible adults to do their best to accompany young people in large, unsanctioned after gatherings where weapons are likely to be present. There's always more we as adults can do to make sure that we know where our kids are and what they are doing. I recognize this feels like emotional whiplash. After this incredible celebration last night where thousands of people gathered, Chicagoans who were enjoying our tree lighting ceremony, thousands of Chicagoans came to express their love for our city. It was peaceful. It was a joyous evening, a vision of the best of Chicago. The holiday season is a time when we come together as a city. It's when we spend time with our families and our loved ones. This is the opposite type of behavior that anybody wants to see. We have too many guns and too many young people who don't value their own lives or the lives of others. And when we have a setback like this, it just reminds us of the long road that we have to build the city that we all want to live in.
Yeah, that train has sailed a long time ago. I think that there's more bad than good coming up for the people in Chicago. And I know that y'all don't want to hear that. I know that y'all bothered by the idea that somebody is holding this city accountable and holding the politicians that you guys voted for. When people tell me, Anton, don't talk about the city, don't talk about the violence, don't talk about the fact that people continue to kill people over in Chicago and they shoot at large gatherings and the police has zero suspects in custody. I say, well, if you didn't want me to talk about it, then you should have voted differently. If you didn't want me to talk about it, you should have got better leadership. If you didn't want me to talk about it, you should have made better decisions. If you didn't want me to talk about it, you should have got involved. If you didn't want me to talk about it, you should have raised your children more effectively. I'm just reacting to what's going on. You are the people that committed the crimes. You elected your mayors. You voted against your own best interest, but you want me to close my eyes and bury my head in the sand and not look at it. Interesting. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I want to acknowledge a few people before we get started. Remember, y'all, room 9 tonight. Shout out to Samuel Silver, says Sunday sermon. Shout out to Samuel. Christopher Williams, you know you my dog, right? I appreciate you. Also want to give some acknowledgement to Tito Santana. 80 says, Anton, the USA needs to change our punishment system to re-education camps, work camps, an isolated prison system locked down 22 hours a day, 1 meal a day, no making friends. You know what the problem is, though? Not only do we need to punish people, but we also need to get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is, honestly, I believe, it's too many broken households. Too many people having children out of wedlock. Mama at work while the kids is in the street. The streets is raising your kids. Young Money, it looked like you came correct, so I'm going to read that super chat. Right-wing people be living in poverty in Mobile, Alabama, complaining about the crime in Chicago. All right. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for continuing to rock with us. All right, let's deep dive into this. So let's go over to Minneapolis really quickly. Trump is removing protections for Somalis in Minneapolis. What does that mean? Well, we're going to get to it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it.
Good evening. Breaking tonight, President Donald Trump posting on Truth Social that he will terminate the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. In his post, he says the reason is, quote, Minnesota, under Governor Walz, is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as the President of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the temporary protected status, TPS program, for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over, President DJT, end quote. Now, we have reached out to Governor Tim Walz for a comment, but have not heard back tonight. Somalia's protective status currently runs through March 2026. Now, tonight, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar responding to Trump's post on Twitter, saying, I am a citizen and so are majority of Somalis in America. Good luck celebrating a policy change that really doesn't have much impact on the Somalis you love to hate. We are here to stay. Also breaking tonight, U.S. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she will be resigning.
We don't care about that. We already covered that. But Trump is saying that he's removing temporary protection status from Somalis over in Minneapolis. Now, there's two places in the country, and I'm going to share with y'all that the Somali community in Minneapolis is voicing the concern about the temporary protection status going away. And so we're going to get into that, right? But there's two places inside of the United States of America that is under scrutiny because of the community and what the community has become, right? Dearborn, Michigan, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? Now, Dearborn, Michigan is a relatively small city compared to Detroit, Michigan. Minneapolis is a relatively large city compared to, a Dearborn, Michigan. So you're seeing scrutiny and things come under attack. But it's, what's so interesting? I don't see anybody over there in Minneapolis. Nobody is over in Minneapolis on the ground trying to understand it. Nobody is protesting. Nobody is doing none of that. Nobody is doing any of that. You got Ilhan Omar that is playing in the people's faces and basically spitting in the face of Trump when he says things. Temporary protective status allowed for so many people to come over here inside of the United States of America and then to be able to classify themselves as legal while waiting for their ability to be able to transition over into becoming a citizen. And so it's easy for her to go on there and say, well, you know what? We don't really care because most of us as citizens now, they've already infiltrated the culture. They've already infiltrated the culture.
The legal status of some in Minnesota's Somali community is in question after President Trump announced last night he was terminating temporary protected status for Somali migrants in Minnesota due to fraudulent activity in the state. Now there are calls for the president to reconsider the action. Our Richard Reeves speaking with people who are directly impacted about their concerns, Rich.
Yeah, Callum, people in the Somali community definitely worried tonight. Our state has the largest Somali population in the country. The last count from Minnesota Compass showing nearly 80,000 people. It's estimated less than 1% have TPS. Still, there are fears about the future. From the Carmel Mall in South Minneapolis to the Dar Al Farouk Islamic Center in Bloomington.
What's the mood? What people are thinking about all this?
So this has been very scary. A lot of people are very fearful.
Board member Khalid Omar says there are several members here who are in the TPS Somali program. Some have lived in Minnesota a decade or more. The notion that President Trump might terminate the program has many worried.
At this moment, the only thing that can defend is the court of law. That's the only thing that can defend us.
What are you scared of if you over here legally? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you're over here legally and you don't have any kind of problems, you're not committing crimes, you either got your green card or you somehow, whatever way you've done it, been able to become a citizen of the United States of America, what do y'all have to worry about? Why are they? Because this is flying in the face of what Ilhan Omar has said to Trump, and that she said, we don't care if you terminate the temporary protective status. We all are already over here legally. So if that's the case, then what are you afraid of? I'm going to tell you where the real fraud is coming in is money laundering. It's a lot of money flowing in and out of these places. That's really the problem, right? It's not even whether or not you terminate temporary protective status or you change this or you change that. It's the money, bro. It's the money going back and forth. Everything comes back to the money. Everything comes back to the money. There's always a financial component that comes into it. Always. Even them coming over here. Why do you think that most of these people come over here? It's because we've successfully implemented capitalism. Now, is capitalism perfect? Nope, but it's allowing for them to create a better space for their children, for their family, to bring over as many people as they can. And then what do? For the people that have to stay home, you send it back home. You send it back home. For the people that got to stay home, you send it back home. That's what the real thing is. If people are concerned about what's going on in Dearborn, the people in Dearborn ain't bothering nobody. But what you need to pay attention to is where the money is going. Nobody gives a fuck about the call to prayer. Nobody cares about whether or not they Muslims in real life. None of that stuff. You know what they're trying to figure out? You know what people try to figure out? Where y'all getting so much money from, and how are y'all doing? Where y'all getting so much money from, and how are y'all able to do it? I was just in Dearborn yesterday. I had to go to the Walmart last night. I did. It's the closest Walmart. The closest Walmart here. I can go over to Canada. I ain't trying to go to Canada to go to Walmart. Actually, the closest Walmart to here is Canada. But I went to Dearborn yesterday. I had to go to the pharmacy. Ain't nothing happening over there. They ghetto, hood, ghetto. Dearborn, the people over there in Dearborn, they not too much different than black people. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. On Ford Road, yep. Yep, I pulled up, went and got what I needed, got up out of there. Yep. So I headed over to Dearborn yesterday. They don't mess with that. Nobody messing with nobody over there. They just like black people for the most part. They just like black people.
Temporary protected status is meant for those whose home countries are experiencing civil unrest, violence, or natural disasters.
You know, I like to interact with the chat. Listen, let me give y'all some insight. If you want me to interact with you, you got to get a real profile photo. And don't get no profile photo of Frisia or SpongeBob and no shit like that. If you want me to go back and have a conversation, because I believe that the chat is an integral part of what we do over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. You got to get a profile photo. He says, if your ass lived in a messed up country, your ass, what you got to put a comma first of all, and say your, all right, would flee to America. Stop the cap. This is how I know that I got children watching this show. Badass kids that stole their mama iPad, because first of all, the context clues is there. First of all, you named yourself, what up, holla, all right, what up, hola. So that's the first context clue. The second context clue is when people put stop the cap at the end of their conversation. You know why? Because it's not even relevant to anything that we're talking about. Nobody said anything about anybody being from another country and if you would try to get over here. So what is their capping about? And then they don't know how to pronounce or spell or type or do any of that. So I automatically just assume that these people, okay, are children that stole their mama's iPad. Gotta be. Because this comment has nothing to do with anything whatsoever. So, hey man, go put your mama's iPad back up. I'm not even going to address that. Now, let me continue on my show. We got a short show today. I just wanted to kick it with the people, have a good conversation, and talk about a couple of issues.
Somali immigrants have been eligible since 1991.
I'm worried. She said, I don't know where I go.
We spoke on the phone with a Minneapolis woman whose niece fled Somalia 2 years ago. She says the 23-year-old now has TPS status, but unsure about the future. Is she afraid she might be taken out of the U.S. and sent back to Somalia?
She said yes, because Somalia is scared of something, so still I'm scared to go there.
For TPS holders, this is their worst nightmare.
Jailani Hussein, with the Council on American Islamic Relations, fears families will be torn apart. Children born in the U.S. are citizens, while their parents may have TPS status.
So most of the families impacted are mixed status, or some citizens, some on their way to being citizens. So this will definitely be a family separation policy.
The aunt of that 23-year-old says she hopes President Trump will have a change of heart.
I wish he changed his mind, what he's saying, because America is a dreamland and everybody wants to stay.
You know what's so funny about that? Very few people that's actually here in the United States of America that's a part of the culture would actually agree with that. Nobody is actually moving out of the United States of America. You can go and seek citizenship anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. And you know what people not doing? Leaving. You know what they do? Complain. They're in the greatest country on the face of this earth, and they sitting there whining. Greatest country, but they sitting here whining. Yeah, the chat is always wild, Jordan. Chat is always wild. But that's just kind of the current thing of what's going on. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning your notifications. I'm gonna read a couple of super chats, and then I want to go over to the next thing. Let me see what the scores are. ESPN. Oh, fuck. Get this off my screen. I don't want to look at this. I can't look at this. I can't watch it. Get it off my screen. I can't see it. I can't watch it. The Pistons is all we got. Pistons, Detroit Pistons, all we got, baby. Yeah, the Lions is losing. I can't take that. It's the fourth quarter. They down by 10. I can't deal with it. I'm stressed already. I'm stressed out. Marc Lamont Hill got me stressed. What do they call him? Dark Lamont. Oh, man. Dark Lamont Hill is going to read you the riot act. I was like, okay. Okay. I actually like Marc Lamont Hill. I would hire him. If the Joe Budden pod, if they can't come to an agreement, I will hire him. I will definitely put him on the team. I'll give him his own show. Put him in a 720 deal. I'll put him in a 720. I definitely put Mark on a 720. You know what I'm saying? I think he could be a great contributor. I don't think he'd be able to stand on his own, but I think he'd be a great contributor. Pair him up with somebody super liberal. Have him start the show off by defining what a woman is. I would definitely make sure that Mark got a deal. I know the Native Land Pod, they can't afford to give him no money. So they all dusty over there. Shout out to them. I want to talk about this Jameis Winston conversation that dropped on Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh used to actually play for the Detroit Lions. 720 deal is not diabolical. I want to talk about this. So he did this thing where he was going viral about having this conversation about, and I wanted to share this with y'all the other day, but I didn't have a chance to, about he said his family was spending, let me make sure I got that right. He said his family was spending $400,000 a month of his money. And I said that I wanted to get the full context, so I wanted to go and see it for myself. So I'm going to share this with y'all. I want to talk about money real quick, and then we're going to go from there. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
I ain't doing that with this. Just going to sit there and look at it. Hey, what did you spend your first check on?
Man, my first check, I ain't touched my first check. You know, the first few years, I got a lot of endorsement money.
You remember how much it was?
My first check.
Yeah, from the league.
I don't remember specifically how much it was, but I do remember.
So I'm a numbers guy.
I know your number.
$300 in the bank.
How did I remember?
I don't even think I've ever heard Ndamukong Suh ever speak before. I can't remember the last time I heard Ndamukong Suh speak, but we'll get there.
The first time that I looked at my account, the first number that I saw, I don't remember what my check was.
Yeah.
It was $13.4 million.
Imagine having $13.4 million and you don't even know what your original check was. You don't know how much. You don't know how much they took out in taxes. You don't know how much you had to pay for your health care. You don't know if somebody stole from you. The only thing you see is $13.4 million. Crazy. But see, that's how they blind you, man. That's how they blind you. You get $13.4 million. Somebody asked me yesterday, because I think they was watching like one of them, not Love and Hip Hop, but whatever them show is, not Real Housewives, but whatever. Somebody asked me yesterday, they said, Anton, if they had gave you $8 million at 25 years old, 26 years old, do you think you would have been able to live off of that for the rest of your life? And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, we always talk about money and we always talk about what we would do. But you know how I know that most people lying? Because I'll tell you, I got to get it out of my system. The first 4 million is probably going to be gone within 6 months. I'll tell you that right now. Because you're 25, you're 26, you're not wise, you haven't lived, you don't know what it means to have that type of money. You're going to do some dumb stuff. You got to almost get it out of your system. I'm not even mad at people when they trick off first. I'm not mad at people when they crash out first. I'm not tripping off of people when they first get their first bag, because I started making my first money. Yes, 6 months, bro. Yes, 6 months. You can spend, bro, you can spend that in a month. You can spend $1 million in a month without even thinking twice, without even blinking. You know why? Because the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pay off all your debt, hopefully. The second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure that everybody is, take care of your people. You're gonna go and make sure your mama got a house. That's the first thing that most people do. Mama got a house. This person got to do this. You're gonna fuck off some money, right? You're gonna fuck off some money. You're gonna mess up a bag. You're gonna go out, buy the cars that you're gonna live your dreams. You're gonna live your dreams, right? You're gonna get the cars you always wanted. You're gonna go and you're gonna roll the windows down. You're gonna get the crib you wanted. You're gonna do all of the things that you ever could dream of right then and there. And then you got your people. You never say no to your people. I don't care what the fuck people say. Because you got people hold you got people that's struggling that's around you. You got funerals to pay for. My grandmama losing her house. This person is fucked up. They about to go homeless. So what you gonna do? You gonna let your people suffer? No, you ain't gonna let your people suffer. You're not gonna let your people suffer at all. So I'm being realistic. You give a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 22-year-old that type of money, man, they gon' it's gone. It's gone. Right away. Straight up. But then you got the maintenance and stuff on top of it. So you can't just get them a house. You got to take care of the property taxes. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to sustain it. All of that stuff. So here's the biggest thing is the conversations that we need to be having also is not only how to get the money, but what do you do when you get it? Because it go fast. It's going just like that. It go just like that. So I'm not even tripping off of that. The problem is once you learn better, do you do better?
I just saw 8 figures in my bank account.
Yeah.
That's the first time that I saw like that. When I saw that, I was like, yeah,
I made it.
Now I made it, but like, yeah, I ain't doing that with this.
Just gonna literally sit there and look at it.
I'm looking at it. Like literally was looking at it. And like, those early times, like when you first see that money, you like, man, how many I got now? How many I got now? But my biggest purchase, I bought a fancy chair.
Somebody said your first priority is putting the money in a trust and then creating a living will for yourself. Man, fuck that. My first priority is to make sure my people's straight. I ain't even gonna cap on you. Today, as a 43-year-old man, my first priority is to make sure that my people's straight. Right now. And then I'm gonna do the responsible thing. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm not the one of them people that's gonna sit there and do the Dave Ramsey to you, tell you that this and that, so on and so forth. My first priority is making sure my people is straight. Give a fuck about no will, give a fuck about no preservation. I don't care about none of that. I gotta make sure that my daughter's straight. I gotta make sure that my chick is straight. I gotta make sure that my mom is straight. I gotta make sure that my brothers is straight. I gotta make sure that my people is good. I gotta make sure that my homies has got jobs and everybody is, man, listen, this shit can go away tomorrow, but we gonna have some good times right now. And then I'm gonna work my ass off to make sure that we don't lose this shit. We gonna make sure that we get some good investment advice. We're gonna be doing what we gotta do. Listen, man, My first priority, personally, me, everybody got to eat, bro. We all made it. I make it, we all made it right now. I do that right now, straight up today. Everybody on payroll. Everybody on payroll. As soon as I get paid, everybody else get paid. That's a fact. Anybody will tell you. Everybody will tell you. The first thing I do when I get some money is I give it out to my people. And then I hit the streets and I give away $5,000 to $10,000 in the streets every single month. And then I give it away to the streets. And then once I had got everybody else straight, I said, all right, cool. Now we're going to make some smart decisions. Now we're going to be wise. I'm not going to raise my lifestyle, my level of living, and none of that type of stuff. I ain't doing none of that. That's why I live a regular life. I don't live a regular life. All right. I live an exceptional life. But that's why I don't live in a crazy life. With the type of money that I make, that I've been making for a long time, I still live in regular houses and stuff like that, right? I travel. I got nice cars. I do what I got to do. But I make sure that everybody else is straight. I lower my lifestyle, and then I match the lifestyle of everybody else that's around me. That's how I move. And then I make the investments. I build the houses. I put money in real estate. Put money in my brokerage account. I take care of business. I had that conversation with y'all. But I got to make sure that my people's straight, bro. I don't give a fuck about this money, man. I don't care nothing about it. I can make more money. I got one opportunity to make sure that my mom is good. I got one opportunity to make sure my brothers are straight. I give away cars. I gave a car to my brother. Y'all seen it. I got one opportunity to ensure that my daughter is good. Hey, let me get a life insurance policy on myself. Make sure this person is good. Now we about to have fun, man. We about to have a good time. We're going to make smart decisions with the money going forward, but we're going to have a good time. Let's be generous. Let's blow this shit. That's how I move. Send me a $3 million cash app request. The way my checking and my savings is set up. Well, I don't buy a car unless I give my people a car. Y'all ask me why I got 12 cars. You want to know why I got 12 cars? Because I want to make sure that my chick got 4. I got 4. I got the 4 I need. So my daughter got 4. My chick got 4. My brothers got some. My mom's got some. Everybody got a car. I made sure that my chick's mom got a car. Y'all know this. Y'all already know this. Y'all done seen it. You seen her call me and say, oh, my, thank you. My girl's mother got a brand new car because I got to make sure she get back and forth where she got to go. Everybody got to get a car. Now, everybody ain't going to get a lamb. Everybody ain't going to get a lamb. I'm going to get you that Chevy that you wanted. What you mean Leslie don't need no 4 cars? Why not? She's an extension of her father. She's an extension of her father. Leslie switched cars more than anybody in the family. I'm blowing this shit. I don't give a fuck. But you still got to be smart in the end. Once you blow the initial amount, then that's when you start managing it more effectively. You can't let family spend $400,000 a month, though. That's a little crazy. Because, see, you got to figure out how to make it work long term once you get that first bit out of your system.
Like a little lazy boy chair for my dad, my grandma Winston.
Okay.
And it was, I remember the tag on that was like, it was like $4,600.
Yeah.
And it was one of the chairs, like, you know what I'm saying, with the little compartments on your legs where you can lean back, get the massage of your legs, the back get massage. Like, she was a diabetic, so she was in heaven.
Yeah.
And just to see that smile on her face and see how it actually helped her with her daily life, bro. She was a nurse clerk for years at UAP Medical West.
Yeah.
And for her to come home, because at that time she wasn't retired yet, for her to come home and sit in her chair and
they said, Anton, if you get low on funds and need help, they ain't seeing you. My family loved me, nigga. When I went broke, I went and moved back in with my moms until I was almost 30. What the fuck you talking about? She was there. My parents and my family been there for me when I was at my lowest. They get that. My brother made sure that I had a car to get back and forth to work. They bought me my first smartphone when I got my big job to make sure that I looked sophisticated when I went into work. Man, you don't understand, bro. We love each other in real life. We might have different political differences. We might have different views, but my people look out for me and I look out for my people. I don't know what you're talking about. Talking about, no, your family ain't going to look out for you. I can always go back and get a regular job, but at the same time, I can't replace the people that have held me down. My people look out for me. Know what you talking about? See, y'all so fucking selfish. Y'all so focused on trying to hoard it all to yourself. I gotta be the best person in the group. Ain't no one man above the group. I get the shit, we all eat. If he got it, we all eat. My brother was making sure he was looking out for me. I ain't even had no job. What you talking about? My people looked out for me, held me down. Babysit my daughter when I was out there trying to hustle to get my money back up. Gotta love people, man. The way you show you love God is by showing that you love people, bro. You gotta love people. We worship this junk too much, man. It don't mean nothing. Man, this money is just a tool, bro. It's a tool. And I'm not telling you not to be responsible. I'm telling you to stop worshiping it. Stop thinking that it's supposed to. It's not going to do nothing. It can't form legs. It can't do nothing but make sure that you straight. So when I'm investing, I'm keeping everybody in mind. When I'm building these houses, the reason that I'm not selling them is because not only do I want to rent them out to make sure I can sustain my lifestyle, but just in case any one of my family members go bust and they need a place to stay, I got them. I can say, hey, man, I got you this property till you get back on your feet. Come and stay with me. Don't pay me nothing because I ain't got no mortgage. So we cool over there. Fuck this money shit, bro. Like, let's get it, but let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it. You can't take this shit with you. Yeah, be responsible and you can enjoy your life. That's balance. Take care of your people. So if your people hit you up and say, hey, man, I'm fucked up out here, you're not going to look out for them? You're just going to let them suffer and you up? So you, oh, wait, okay. So you up. I want to have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation. So if you up and your people say, I need it, you going to deny them? Wow. Y'all wow. Y'all wow. Y'all wild, bro. I don't want to live no life like that. I don't want it by myself. I don't want it by myself, bro. We all got talents, man. Some of our talents is the ability to be able to get money and be successful. Other of our talents is, you know, some people are nurturers. Some other people's talents is, you know, really doing the behind the scenes work. But we all got to eat. We all got to be good. We all got to be successful. We all got to be in the building. No. So if you up, you're not going to pay your mans $100,000. You ain't going to pay him $100,000 and teach him how to add value and what y'all doing so y'all can make even more. You ain't going to put your mans on. Sorry, AD, but I got some foul family members, some not all. So what? So what? So what, man? We all got fucked up family members. I ain't gonna let that nigga suffer. That's crazy, man. Y'all crazy, bro. Y'all crazy. I just don't care, man. I don't care enough about this stuff, bro. I don't care enough about it. It don't mean nothing to me. I blow it, I trick it, I do whatever it is. I'm a trick on my people. I'm spinning that shit. I'm taking all of the first class flights. I'm doing all of that. I'm doing all of it. My treasures are stored up in heaven, man. I'm gonna give to the poor. I'm gonna take care of my community. I'm gonna tap to the streets. I'm gonna have a good time. We gonna go shopping. Everybody gonna get cars. We good, man. Fuck this shit. I can always get some more money. I can't replace the time that I got with these people. My job is to make their life easier so I can spend more quality time with them. It ain't about them. It ain't about trying to force them. If they responsible, Man, when I get it, everybody getting it, and that's why my team is the way it is.
Get that. Have a vibrating chair. You know, when you're growing up, the only time you see a vibrating chair is in the mall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I went at the airport level yet.
Like
you know?
50 cents.
You know, it's like
chair.
and
My heroes are not the billionaires. They not those type of. You know who my heroes are? My heroes is the mentality of people like the mentality. Forget the actions, bro. The mentality of like a Michael Vick. I fuck with Michael Vick, bro. I fuck with Allen Iverson, bro. I love them dudes, man. I love it because they never left their people behind, bro. They never left their people behind. I mess with the Michael Vicks, bro. He was like, yo, you got to take care of your mans, man. So if I'm walking around with new shoes, but your shoes fucked up, you can't have no new shoes, nigga. I don't want no friends like that, bro. I don't want no friends that can't eat with me.
And I got my grandma that massage chair. Okay. So that's my claim to fame. And it was just $4,600.
Bad, man. I like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you regret buying?
I would say I'm not a big person of regrets, but I do one thing just early on in my career of just the stewardship that I had with my money.
Yeah.
In terms of, it got to a point, Sue, where I enabled the people around me to spend like $400,000 a month. Yeah, like it was a month, bro. Like on clothes, on trying to do stuff on eBay. Like, bro, it was a lot.
Okay,
it was a lot. Like they called themselves trying to flip stuff.
Yeah,
and that's when I was like, okay, now, yeah, nah, bro. Like
now the thing that where he went wrong, and this is the part that I wanted to get to, where he went wrong is that you got to figure out what the position is of the people that surround you. And this is the thing that a lot of us don't have. We don't have leadership skills. We know how to get to the money. We know we want to take care of our people, and we can take care of our people. And I think that we go too far right or we go too far left, right? So the too far right and the too far left is some people that's going to say, nah, man, I can't do nothing for nobody. And they stingy. And then it's another person that's going to say, well, $400,000 a month to my people because I got it. No, you got to be reasonable, right? So here's the reasonable part. I'm investing in myself, and I'm going to make sure that I'm taken care of so everybody else can be taken care of. It don't have to be 400,000, A, and B, you got to start to recognize the talents of the people that surround you. So I may look at my chick, right? Let's say I look at my chick and I say, damn, she good at this, she good at that, she good at that. So now what I did was I started certain companies, including the real estate development company, because she's obsessed with that because she's seen me building houses. She just automatically stepped into that role. She makes me more money, but then I can pay her really greatly as a result of it. So she's adding value in that way. I recognize her talents. My nephew, right? My little homies, yo, Anton, whatever. I'm trying to figure, okay, just come up under me. Yo, let me see what you can do. So he started editing videos. He started doing this. He started doing that. And so now he adds value and he takes time off of it so I can go and get more value, right? So that's the part where we have the gap at. That's the gap in the middle that we don't want to have a conversation about. We need to start figuring out when we get the money, how do we have other people? It's not about your idea. It's not about you starting a business. Where can you fit in that adds value to what we got going on that then generates more revenue so that we can continue to be together and rock out? That's what they do in other communities. That's what they do in other communities. Anton, so you ain't never been burned by a family member you've helped? Yeah. That don't mean nothing to me. So what? What I'm gonna do? Hold a grudge? No, I forgive you, bro. Listen, hey man, we got to do something different this time, man, because you fucked up on that last one. Yeah, I know, man. I was messed up, whatever. I got the context. I understood it. I put him in a different position, and everything has been great. I forgive you. Yeah, I forgive you. I don't give a fuck. All right, dog. Listen, man. Listen, I get it, bro. But we got to do it differently this time, bro. All right, cool. I forgive you. So what? So what? So what? So fucking what? I forgive you. Now, if you look at the other people in other communities, look at the mob. The mob always put different people in different positions. Now, the problem with the mob, and this is the part where you start having to be a little bit more stern if people don't want to play their positions. Fredo didn't want to play the position. He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. You know what I'm saying? You got to put people in a position, but they still have to play their position. But when they ready to play their position, I still got a job for you. When you ready to play your position, I got a job for you. Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats. We greater together than we are apart. I'ma always help, bro. I'ma always help. That's what I do. I'ma always help. And if they want a job or they want to work with me or they want to add value, cool. I'll do the one-offs. Okay, yeah, man. Listen, we got to get that nigga out of jail. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, man, I'll pay for the lawyer. I got you, bro. But you don't have to get yourself together. Hey, man, sit him down, Ma. Don't let him leave the house. We're going to pay for the lawyer, but we don't want him to have self-inflicted wounds. Oh, shoot. Such and such in the family died. All right, man. I got to dip that out. All right, cool. I got you. So I'm a one-off you all day, right? And then I want you to step into your role so we can get this money together. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Let's get this money, man. Let's get this money. They helped me when I was down, give me a place to stay. I wasn't the type of person to need a handout as far as like, you know, somebody to physically give me money, but they helped me and when I needed a place to stay. And so it's up for me and everybody else. That's all I'm saying. Remember MC Hammer, that's all I'm going to say. What about him? He had a ball. MC Hammer lived a great life. What you talking about? He's still living a great life. Y'all keep acting like these people is down bad. Everybody is cool. Anyways, let me read some of these super chats. Y'all just selfish. I pray I never have that hurt like y'all to be selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I want to have fun. I don't want to be selfish. Thoughts on Josh's situation, putting his hand in Klay Thompson's face. I thought that Klay Thompson handled that beautifully. He intelligently addressed him. Kayla says, I appreciate the strong, successful brother. Enjoy your journey. By the way, Payroll Giovanni is fired. Thanks for the recommendation. Shout out to Payroll. Doomsday says, the biggest AD. TS Car Wash says, how you allow your family to spend? See, yeah, he was out of control. He was stupid. He didn't give him a limit. He didn't give him a budget. He wasn't paying attention. A year, that's $15K plus a day. Nick T says, look up a story on NYC about repeated drunk driver Miriam Yarimi recently got only 3 to 4 years and killing a mother and 2 kids drunk. All right, I'm gonna look that up. Young Money says, everybody eats. P. Rothstein says, I feel you, AD, in my 20s. Are y'all the same person? No, y'all different. I feel you, AD, in my 20s. I was broke. My older sister got a settlement and bought me a brand new car, almost 50, and I pay all of my mom's bills. She doesn't need it to wake her up in the suburbs in the 80s. But here's the other part, though, right? Don't extend yourself too much until you get there. You can't pour out of an empty cup. So you got to be selfish so you can be selfless. You got to get the money first. You got to get there. They got to give you some grace. They got to let you work so that you'll start to get your money up, right? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. All right, man, I had fun. I had fun on a Sunday. What scenario would you not help your family, brother, etc., especially now in your success? I can't think of one. It would have to be a situation that's presented to me. I can't think of a situation where I wouldn't help my family. I would always help. Off the top of my head, unless you present to me something that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not expecting, I would always help my family. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I'm just being honest with you. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I wouldn't help them with nothing illegal. But when you say helping somebody, I can help them out of a situation that they got into as a result of doing something illegal. That's what I'm saying. Like, the context matters. All right? And learn how to forgive, man. What if they messed up the money? Wouldn't you put some sort of barrier in place to help protect yourself and the money? I mean, yeah, of course you got to put a barrier in place. But it don't mean that I'm gonna just completely not help you and cut you off. Why would I cut you off? I'm not, man. Look, bro. That's not my heart. That's not my heart, bro. Y'all let me tell you what the difference is between a duress mindset and an abundance mindset. Y'all keep trying to come up with different scenarios to get me to say no. It's not how I think. I come up with different scenarios to figure out how I can say yes. Y'all keep trying to come up with a scenario. Well, what if this or what if that? I don't think like that. I don't think from the lens of a person that's trying to figure out how to say no. I come from the perspective of a person that's trying to figure out how to say yes. I'm trying to figure out how I can get you on the team, how I can put you in a position of power, how I can put some money in your pocket. I don't think like that. So I don't think from the no lens. I think from the yes lens. I don't say I can't afford it. I say, how can I afford it? What if it's their, see? What if it's their fourth time being locked up? What it means, well, we going to work on not having a fifth time. That means we got to be more vigilant in making sure that our brother is taken care of. CAH634 says, 33 years old. I let my parents move in with me when my dad got sick a year ago. I moved out and moved in with my New York girlfriend. I still pay the bills there. Best feeling in the world now, looking to invest in real estate. Any advice? Don't invest in New York. Invest in the Midwest, number one. Invest in the Midwest. The second thing that you got to ask yourself, send me an email. The second thing that you got to ask yourself is, what type of investor do you want to be? Because there's a lot of different ways to make money in real estate. All right. Thank you, my friend. $50. But if you're gonna get into real estate, get into it in the Midwest. Stay out anywhere in the Midwest outside of Chicago. And thank you for holding me down. AI is laying off a lot of workers. Do you think it will create another Great Depression? Greed of the billionaires will be its own demise? No, I don't think that AI is the reason why a lot of workers are being laid off. I think that that's the scapegoat. I don't think that AI is the reason at all. That's a scapegoat. Technology has always evolved, and it has always created more additional jobs from the ones that it's phasing out. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, are we prepared for the jobs that we want? I just looked at a video where Ford Motor Company was looking to hire people at over $120,000 an hour. I mean, not an hour, $120,000 a year, but they couldn't find any qualified candidates. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it has anything to do with AI. I think AI does impact, but at the same time, it allows you to be more efficient. We use AI in everything that we do, and it has allowed for us to be more efficient. It hasn't led to anybody getting replaced or removed. It has added to their responsibilities. That's it. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We are now over 20K Patreon members and rising. We got an upcoming live stream, and we have Room 9 tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.